Hi guys, I don't know if it's the same for you, but a guilty pleasure of mine is to watch MPs grilled on their position, to see real journalism at work. So as I had predicted, the Tory response to what appears to be a U-turn by the government on the winter fuel allowance has been a mess. Kemi Badenoch has said on a number of occasions that she doesn't have a plan because it's too early. But by doing so, she left her party on the back foot. Here, a possible replacement for Badenoch, Robert Jenrick, crashed and burned as he was grilled by Sky News' Wilfred Frost.
As with so many areas, we do await your actual policies, which I know are taking a while to formulate, including specifically on...
Well, we have a policy. Well, that's not fair. We fought this.
You did, but then you must... Okay, so what is it universal? Does it go back to universal?
Keir Starmer only said that he's going to do a U-turn.
But what's your
Prime Minister's question time yesterday, and we haven't even heard what his proposals are.
Don't push back on my criticism that your party hasn't announced policies for however many months it's been under your new leadership, and then not provide me your policy. What is your policy on this?
Well, we don't know what Labour's... You're asking me to respond to something where Labour haven't even said what their policy is.
You were in government for 14 years. You know all the details of the winter fuel permit. You know the pluses, you know the minuses.
We voted against it. We voted against it.
And what is your policy from here?
Well, we have opposed the removal of the winter fuel allowance. We are going to have
What would you replace it with?
Well, we've opposed removing it. We voted against it. We said we didn't.
So you go back to it being completely universal.
We're going to wait and see what Keir Starmer brings forward.
Fine. So don't criticise me for saying you don't have your own policy yet. Thank you very much.
As I said in another video, we should clone Victoria Derbyshire. We should also clone Wilfred Frost. The Tories don't have a policy, or their policy is we're against stuff. That's basically it. See, I don't know if this is incompetence on the behalf of Robert Jenrick, or if he's in a box, that his leader has said what we're not going to do is have any policies. We're just going to oppose stuff. A bit like Nigel Farage. So Farage really only has one vision, and that's immigration, bring down immigration. But the Conservatives can't just run on that. They have to run on other issues as well. But they don't seem to have any policies. And it seems to be the approach of Kemi Badenoch not to issue any policies, not to talk about policies, just to wait until the next general election. But her problem is she won't be there. She won't be the leader. It's pathetic. You know, it would actually benefit Kemi Badenoch somewhat if she came up with some policies. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do on the NHS. This is what we're going to do on the economy. This is what we're going to do on infrastructure. This is what we're going to do on Europe. This is you could list out some. She's not going to implement them, of course not. She's not going to even be leader. But it could actually help her answer some questions, and it would help her shadow secretaries, shadow cabinet, respond in some way. I don't know if this is Robert Jenrick not being able to respond because he's incompetent, or if he's stuck in this box. Either way, the Conservatives don't have a vision. Like, who's going to vote for this party when they don't have a vision on anything? All they seem to stand for is, I'm against stuff. See, that works for reform. We're against this, we're against that, because people are not happy with the incumbent party. But the Conservatives were the incumbent party about a year ago. So you can't run on we're against stuff. You can't run on we're the populist upstarts. Because that slot has been filled by somebody else. So you need to have some policies. And it can't be just immigration. Robert Jenrick would probably like just to run on immigration because that's all he seems to care about. But you'd actually have to have real policies. And it's right that he's called out on this. You know, we need to see more journalists push back. Because for too long, Brexiteers and Conservatives and Reform UK have been able to just say what they want and go unchallenged. And that has to stop.